as of all Liberians. There is no better way to ensure long-term peace in Liberia than to decidedly pursue Agenda 2030. And that's exactly what the Govt of Liberia is setting out to do. Madam President, as co-chair of the high-level panel of eminent persons set up by the United Nations Secretary, and as chairperson of the high-level committee of heads of state and government on the post-2015 development, your continued leadership in this process is admired by all of us here and around the world. Countries in Africa and across other continents are also beginning to integrate the SDGs into local content to drive national development priorities. Governments must take the lead with decisive steps in this process. Success will rely, however, on partnership. Development requires buy-in and action by all actors, including governments, parliaments, local authorities, international institutions, civil society, academia, the media, and the private sector. Madam President, let me pledge that the continued collaboration of the United Nations system in this process. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development is centered on people, dignity, the planet, prosperity, justice, and partnership. 17 Sustainable Development Goals with 169 targets aim to promote prosperity and well-being for everyone, everywhere, on a healthy planet. The Sustainable Development Goals encourage all countries to address the structural factors that impede or delay poverty eradication, inclusive growth, and sustainable development, with the purpose of leaving no one behind. Liberia cannot afford to leave any of its citizens behind. We know how the cynical prey on the marginalized, and we have seen that in Liberia more than once. We have no time to lose, here in Liberia or across the world. Our planet and too many people are suffering and facing huge challenges. This year has to mark the beginning of turning global promises into realities. The 17 goals represent also a bridge between the processes of peace building, reconciliation, and human development. Ladies and gentlemen, as the United Nations mission is engaged in the process of handing over full security responsibilities to the Govt of Liberia, it will become even more pertinent that we work ever more closely together. The Govt of Liberia's plan of action, its transition plan, is designed with a concrete plan, timelines, and benchmarks for building the security sector in coordination with the United Nations in its development partners. It recognizes the challenges faced by the national security sector and sets the strategic objective to achieve an improved and sustainable operational effectiveness of the security sector. Most importantly, however, it calls for a shift in security thinking, a shift away from practices of the conventional security concept to a notion of human security. As is the case anywhere else in the world, security will only be sustainable in Liberia when its people and communities perceive themselves as secure, with equal access to justice, services, and opportunities. Therefore, security is not simply the responsibility of the security agencies or branches of the government, and all ministries, agencies, and commissions have roles to play. All must work effectively together and hand in hand with the communities towards sustainable peace. The transition plan's underlying principle is that for Liberia to enjoy long-term peace and stability, a whole-of-government approach is critical and indispensable. The United Nations Secretary General, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, called the Agenda 2030 as our declaration of interdependence. Liberia is no exception to that interdependence. The Ebola virus disease crisis has shown that our collective strength at the international, regional, national, and most importantly, local community levels can be mobilized to overcome the most daunting of challenges. We will need Trinidadians to work together, government, private sector, civil society sector, youth, the faith organizations, local community leaders, all, in order to ensure that peace, stability, and security is maintained.